We all have a story to tell, one we're meant to share, and most have their fair share of bumps in the road and twists and turns. And one local individual was dealt a tough hand from the age of 4 when her mom was diagnosed with cancer. Although the road has been anything but easy, she's turned her grief to good with a truly amazing story. I'm excited to welcome Sarah Jane German here with us to share a bit about her story. Sarah, I'm glad to have you here. So tell me a little bit about your story.
So when I was 4, my mom was diagnosed with adenoid cystic carcinoma. It's a very rare and terminal cancer, and that meant that the treatments that she went through weren't to cure anything. It was to extend life and increase comfort. And I grew up, obviously, when I was younger, it wasn't more than just, okay, mom's in the hospital again. But kind of figuring out life, I realized this is serious. And I had a pretty interesting childhood in the sense of I grew up knowing, you know, I didn't know how long my mom was going to live, but I knew it wasn't going to be for long. So that really changed my perspective on life completely. So when right after she turned 50, and 3 days after my 12th birthday, she passed away. And she had a huge support system behind her. And, you know, I got to see that support system rally behind her and rally behind my family and just build us up and keep us going. And that turned such a hard time into almost a positive, where I got to have an amazing community, you know, build me up, and I got to see the people that were there for me. So about 9 months later, I wanted to, you know, bring that sense of community and support out into the world. And I went to Instagram, and I just wanted to find, you know, is there a support account for ACC? And there wasn't. So I started one, and it just kind of started growing from there. It started as just an Instagram, and people started reaching out to me until COVID lockdown.
Yeah.
When I had too much time on my hands, I started just messing around with building a website, and all of a sudden it was I can do this. You know, I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know what it's going to turn into, but let's just see what happens. And next thing you know, I had a website launched, I had products for sale, and I had the mission of donating to research foundations for ACC. And as important as that is, I started to realize there are a lot of organizations out there doing that, and there needs to be something else. And I realized that what that something else needs to be is treatment, not a cure. Because we were very fortunate. So growing up, when my mom was going through treatment, we were financially stable. And any treatment she needed, and, you know, like clinicals and 2 rounds of chemo, we were able to just provide. You know, but it wasn't, there was no doubt, it wasn't concern as to when are we getting the next treatment, is this going to happen? My mom lived 8 years with stage 4, and that doesn't typically happen.
Yeah.
I started talking to other people that reached out to me, and I'm realizing, you know, that's not common. People getting treatment immediately and people having that security. So I kind of shifted gears with my nonprofit Cure ACC to become somewhere that people can apply to grants to get that treatment, because I realized that not everyone's as lucky as, you know, my family was.
But you've been there. You've
Yes.
seen what that process looks like, what that experience is like, how hard it is. So to be able to have the peace of mind that, hey, at least I know we're going to have another treatment. But how old are you now? You have your own nonprofit.
17.
17. Okay. Incredible. Let's walk back through memory lane a little bit. Tell me about the relationship that you had with your mom, knowing that you kind of were on a timer.
Yeah. So I just, for some reason, there are certain times in my life that I can always remember, and it was talking to, like, my friends. And, you know, little kids, just like, oh, God, I hate my mom. She took away something of mine.
Yeah.
And there were so many of those moments, like, at school when they're like, you know, I don't know why my mom doesn't like me, or, like, I can't stand my mom. And I just couldn't understand that. And I would be like, no, it's good, you know, your mom is good, you know? And I never understood why I thought that way and why no one else did. And I don't know, I think I was like 10 or so when I started to realize, like, okay, there is a pretty solid time limit. And, you know, that just, I always had that in the back of my mind. And thankfully I wasn't dwelling on it, but it kept me looking at the positive. And I mean, my mom was beyond positive, just happiest person ever. So that was very helpful in all ways. She never really said anything bad about her cancer. All smiles, all happy times. And so we got to fight that we got to fight that together with positivity. And that's just kind of shaped who I am today, thankfully.
To hear the rest of Sarah's story and what she's doing to impact families going through what she endured, we will have the full interview up on our website, as well as a link to her nonprofit, Cure ACC, with ways you can support the work she's doing to help other families battling cancer. We'll connect you with all that and more over on our website, CILiving.tv.